Hi, everyone. My name's Sean Murphy, founder and creator of Mental Profits. One of the things that I get asked a lot is, Sean, what are the things I can do on a daily basis to be able to create more greatness in my life? And so a long time ago, I came up with happiness questions. Now, I know that may seem a little kind of not professional to you, but I got to tell you, if you hang around me long enough, you're going to realize that this farm boy from Ohio isn't the sharpest knife in a drawer. And what I've learned and share with you is through personal experience. And a lot has to do with the mentors that I've had around me and who have helped me create some pretty powerful things in my life that I couldn't have done on my own. So I want to share this with you. So here's some ideas. It's about focus more or less or the same or different. All too often we have these challenges of, well, where do I put my focus? Well, sometimes the question is what do you have to take your focus away from? So in this PDF that you're going to be able to download, I'll talk about these particular areas. The awareness of where your focus is going. Right? So if you can ask questions that can narrow your focus down to kind of like the magnifying glass, make that light even brighter and make it a burning focus that you can have. So you need to become aware of where your mind has been going. You need to do it at the start of the day. You need to do it at the end of the day, right? So when you go to sleep. So these questions that you'll be able to have to be able to ask yourself, you'll be able to have these to ask at any time that you want. There's midday questions, right? This check-in. How many of us can start off a day and then maybe it just the wheels fall off midday, or maybe it starts off not so good and maybe it turns into a good day? We have to recognize what are the shifts that happen during the middle of the day, and then how do we create clarity, right? So what do we, if we can focus less on the things we don't want, we can focus more on the things we do want. Wouldn't that wouldn't that change the way our energy is directed during the day? And part of this is paying attention to the happiness that's in our life. All too often, a simple little recognition that comes to us, right? Recognition, men and women die for it, babies cry for it. What are the happiness things? What are the things of happiness that came into our life today that we're not aware of? It's about less, not more. Well, wait a minute, Sean. I got to create more. I got to do more. I got to be more. No, I totally get it. But here's the thing. It's about putting it down. Now, some of you can see the lines there and you would put something else down, right? But it is about putting it down. How long would you hold on to a burning pot if you didn't have pot holders, right? Or somebody throws you the quote, hot potato. How long would you hold on to it? Part of this is about putting the things down. It's about making room for the things we want to come into our life. And I promise you, more is okay. Having more, doing more, being more, it's okay. And the reason that we sometimes get frustrated and stressed and a little anxiety is because we do want to help. How many of you that are listening to this want to be able to help more people around you? So it's about giving it away. When you put the first line, it, down, you get to get more of it, the thing you want, and less of the thing you don't. Therefore, see, when we get really focused and we're able to ask ourselves the right question, we can really narrow down our focus, and there's not a whole lot we're doing, but what we're doing, we're becoming great at it. So I get asked all the time, well, when should I ask myself these questions? Well, when should you create your day? Aren't you creating your day all along the time? And the question I always answer that question with now. So I hope you're okay with me being real and raw with you. So that's why you hear an or an R. It's just me being real with you right now. This isn't edited. I just wanted to give this to you. I want you to become aware of your greatness that's already around you. I want you to become aware of the things that you're doing. See, all too often people die at 21, we bury them at 65. And we turn around and we look back and we go, man, last year was just oh my God, it was horrible. Well, it wasn't last year that was horrible. It was the hours of last year that made last year horrible. You got to become aware of the things around you. And so I'm going to ask you to, as you go through your day, remember to take notes, remember to jot down things. And, well, Sean, you just don't know my schedule. I'm so busy. I understand that. I know how busy you are. I'm busy too. So maybe just simply use technology, things like your voice recorder on your cell phone, and make some notes. And I can promise you, if your mind shows up, if that part of you shows up, go, that's stupid, don't do that. That's the part of you that's holding you where you're at. Right? We can only think about what we can think about. And if you're creating new ideas, you're not in the past. And if you remind yourself at any time during the day of something you need to remind yourself, you're back in mind, and mind is a history. Everything in your mind is the past. It's when you create new neural pathways, you use neural, what's it called? When you use neuroplasticity, you're now creating new neural pathways. When you create something new, that's not in the past. And so when you have these new ideas of your greatness, you have some amazing awarenesses that happen and places to go and new things to do. See, here's the thing I want you to remember. 51% of the time is all it takes, not 110. I don't know where and why we believe that we got to go be 100% successful or we got to give 110%. Start right now where you're at in this moment and start with 51%. Just do something, one little bit of difference, just 1% of the time more. Right? It's called the principle of Kaizen, Japanese principle that says 1/10 of 1% improvement every day. Not even one full percent. It would take you 10 days to get 1%. Do you have the energy to focus on 1/10 of 1% improvement every day? Can you get better in the areas of your life, each area of your life, right? Spirit and body and mind and focus and physical and society and financial. Can you get a little bit better in each of those? I bet you could. So here's some daily ideas. Every day your life comes and goes. What comes in is your fault, and what goes out is your fault. What do you want to do? How do you want to change that? See, all too often we set down a goal that says, I'm going to lose 30 pounds in the next 60 days, or whatever the goal is, or I'm going to make $2,000 in cash in the next 30 days. Adjust the sail more often. Be aware of how you can adjust and how you can change and how you can tweak things on an hourly basis. See, I have a lot of my students, a lot of my clients communicate with me on an hourly basis. Did you move towards your goal or did you move farther away from your goal? On an hourly basis. See, if you're aware of it then, you're just adjusting the sail a little bit. It doesn't take that much to do it. You can run a sailboat by yourself if you're going in the right direction. But if you got to make turns and adjustments and you got to pull into docks and drop people on and off, it takes a crew. So learn how to, you're by yourself, learn how to do this through yourself. What are the white lines you're willing to set up for yourself, right? Just like on the highway, the white lines of your success. What are you not willing to cross over? That dotted line down the middle, you may go back and forth, but what are the white lines? What are the things you're willing to say, I'm not going to go outside of this, which means what do you got to give up so you don't go outside of the white lines? What do you have to do more of? Do you have to take some time to do journaling? Well, that means you got to not do something else because yesterday your day was already full. What is it going to take for you to spend 10 minutes a day to read a good book, to stay focused on some things that you want? And then when do you believe you should have more? If your answer is you should have more right now, then guess what? You are in charge of that right now. And then here's the thing about courage. Find it. Find it in your past. Find it in your future. Use it. And when you use it, guess what you get to do? You get to give it. See, there's somebody that's standing on your shoulders. Maybe there's a bunch of people standing on your shoulders waiting for you to get better so they can what? So they can get better. I'm going to ask you to work towards that. So here's some tracking. How do you track the success? Well, if you've been around any of my trainings, it's about journaling. It's about reviewing those notes. I work with Mason on a regular basis, weekly basis. Sometimes we have some fascinating conversations. And if you know me, that means we've had some heavy discussions about him reviewing those notes. We had a big conversation this weekend about it. He says, I just don't see any success, Dad, when I write down these things in the journal. When I write down my goals, I don't see it. And then we talked about the gestation period of a dream. We know what it takes to raise a baby. We know what it takes for an elephant to be born. Those two are completely different time frames, right? We plant the seed, and in 90 days you should have a crop, but we still don't know how long it takes for a dream. What feeds that dream, the water and the sun and the air that feed the dream, is passion and desire and focus. How focused can you be? How much passion and energy can you put into it? Build on the good. There's so much good inside of you, right? What are the things you've already done well? What are the things you do amazingly well right now? Build on the good. And this is a big one. Create space. So when you're journaling, you're creating space, you're opening up your mind. Kinesthetically, you're involved with creating your success and writing down your notes, which incorporates muscles and memory and a variety of things. But pause. Give yourself some space to breathe in success. Give yourself some space to have more of what you want and less of what you don't. If you can calm down your mind, right? Meditation, YouTube has thousands and thousands of amazing guided meditations you can listen to. You don't have to go buy anything. You've got all of these tools available for you. And then, as it was once said to me and continues to be said to me by my mentors, plan, do, review. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So to go get your 30 plus questions that I created, your happiness questions, just type into web address betteryou.seangmurphy.com and you'll get the questions right away. There's no upsell there. There's 30 plus questions to take your day to another level and to not only help you, but to help those around you. It's to build your personal belief in you and to then help build your ability to help others. And if you want to learn more about me, you can visit SeanGMurphy.com for more mind-expanding ideas. If this is successful, share it. I'd love for you to share it. I'd be honored to share it with those that you feel are important. Let me share the story with them. So there you go. I appreciate you. I hope you have an outstanding day. I hope this 13 minutes has given you some success tips that maybe you knew were inside of you. You just needed somebody to chip them out, break them loose inside of your soul. Guess what, though? You did it. You're the one that heard this information, and you're the one awakening the greatness inside of you. And for that, I'm forever grateful. Thanks so much for your time. I'm Sean Murphy, founder of Mental Profits, where your thoughts create your income, and income has very little to do with money. It has everything else to do with all that comes into your life. So till then, bye for now.